What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Pam, and today I'm going to give you a simple overview on how to start growing, storing, and brewing your own tea, even if you don't have a garden. So firstly, I'm going to use the term tea loosely, as true tea comes from the Camellia sinensis plant, which I may have said that wrong. Growers can achieve different varieties of this plant by changing the way that they grow and process it. However, as you may know, there are many plants that can be brewed in hot water, just like the leaves of the Camellia sinensis plant, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. The correct term for these is actually tisanes. It's a French word. It is the correct terminology, but I'm probably going to refer to it as tea or infusions, so just keep that in mind. I won't have enough time to go over even half of the plants that one could make these kinds of infusions with, whatever you want to call them, but I'm going to take you through some of the plants that I'm growing this year for tea and how I process and store them. Before we get into it, I'd like to take a quick moment to thank today's video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for curious, creative people, and it offers thousands of classes on everything from painting to dancing to houseplant care, interior design, organizing, ADHD, but we're talking tea today. So I wanted to let you guys know that there's also even a class for that. There is a class for the ins and outs of tea brewing called Leaf to Cup, Learning About Tea with Nadia Alejandra de la Vega. And I drink so many teas and tisanes, whatever you want to call them, I thought maybe it was a good time to start paying attention to how I make it to make sure that I'm getting the most out of my plants, and this class was great for that. I've been using Skillshare for about 6 months now, and I haven't come up short on any topic that I have searched and wanted to learn about on their platform, and I just think it's a really cool resource for self-directed learning. So if you're curious about Skillshare, the first 1,000 people to click the link below in my description box and pin comment will get a free trial of Skillshare's premium membership. The memberships are around $10 a month, and they're just super affordable. So thank you so much, Skillshare, for supporting this channel and my tea habit. So let's get back into the video. When first starting out growing a tea garden, it's a good idea to focus on a few staples that you know that you like. I found that my must-have plants for tea are tulsi, also known as holy basil, mints in general, and that can include lemon balm, spearmint, and my favorite being the anise-flavored hyssop or licorice-flavored mint, as it's also called sometimes. And I also like to grow stevia leaves to naturally sweeten my tea, and lately I've been really into rose petals and hips for that really delicious rose flavor. So I'm growing and collecting those for the first time this year as well. Mints are a great option for container gardening in general because they are big bullies when it comes to planting them in the garden. They will spread all over your yard within a few years. As you can see in my yard, I have lemon balm and spearmint everywhere. Other great plants to grow for tea are lavender, chamomile, lilac, catnip, calendula, thyme, culinary sage, which is also a mint, and roots like ginger, chicory, or echinacea. Even dandelion roots can be brewed into a tea that tastes like coffee. All of these can be grown in containers, and some will be really happy in small window boxes. I started growing pots of herbs over the winter under grow lights, and since herbs really love to be pinched and pruned, I enjoyed many cups of fresh tea while the snow fell outside long before I was able to put pots of herbs outside. So when it's time to harvest your tea plants, keep in mind the time of day that you're harvesting. You want to aim for the morning before the hot sun comes out and reduces those beneficial, delicious oils. You want to make your infusions with fresh or dried herbs. You can experiment and see which ones you like best. I've found that tulsi is especially nice, picked fresh and then left to wilt on the counter for a day. Something about that really concentrates the oils and the flavor is just amazing. To dry and process plants for tea, I use two methods. I hang small bundles to dry naturally, which can take about 2 to 3 weeks, and you want to have these somewhere where it's dry in the air, not too moist like the bathroom or something. I don't know why you'd put herbs in the bathroom, but you know what I mean. I also have an Excalibur dehydrator, which I like to use for flowers and things that don't bundle easily. This takes a little bit less time to dry as well. It only takes about a week. There are many ideas for DIY drying screens on YouTube as well if you are on a tight budget. I do rinse my herbs off. Not everyone thinks this is necessary, but I see no harm in filling a bowl with cool water just to remove any dust or critters. When you're brewing tea as well, don't use the water as soon as it's done boiling. I will let the kettle sit after it snaps off for about 2 minutes before I pour it over my herbs. The ideal temperature for this is around 176 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's 80 to 85 degrees Celsius. Try not to let strong scented herbs like mints or tulsi, culinary sage, and flowers like lavender and lilac steep for longer than a few minutes. They have really strong oils and a little bit goes a long way. For roots like ginger, you're going to want to simmer these in a pan to properly extract their delicious magic. You can grow ginger even here in cooler climates by sprouting them on heating mats and starting early indoors, and that starts around late winter. I have mine going right now, and I got mine from Fruition Seeds, so far they're doing pretty well. This will be my first year. My favorite simple blend to make is just tulsi, anise hyssop, which is also called licorice mint, and honey. And I have this almost every day, and I'm really hoping for a big harvest of both this year to have for winter, but it's hard when I keep using it fresh. It's hard to describe, but I swear I can feel it giving my soul a hug after a long day. If you want to learn more about growing plants for teas, tisanes, infusions, check out some of these books. I've really been enjoying them, and I'll leave some links for these below. And of course, if you decide to check out Skillshare, that leaf to cup class is another great place to start. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you're growing any herbs or flowers for infusions or tisanes. If you have any questions for me, let me know as well. And thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your tea.